Is this on? I don't even know if this is on. Is this on? Gosh. This has been on. I can't tell. My goodness. This is annoying. It's this has been on. I can't tell. My goodness. There's such a delay, and oh my gosh. Okay. It's got like a 20 or 30 second delay. I don't know. I need help. I can't tell what I'm looking at. Yeah, sorry. Such a freaking delay. I wonder if I can turn off the delay like a little bit. It's like 20 seconds. It's really long, the delay, and I'm like trying to figure this out. Very disconcerting. Let me move some stuff around so I have a bigger chat so I can see your guys's. Anyone that's around, if you got any questions, I gotta not look at the YouTube because it's very distracting because it's delayed. Stop. Stay muted. Okay. Can I even tell who's on? Thank you, Matt, for commenting. I know some of you on Discord are gonna help out. Appreciate that. Let me move. Oh, I was gonna do a Zoom and have some of you join on the Zoom. Darn it, I forgot, man. I was doing some woodworking and house chores and putting a shelf in the closet. My wife's making me do some stuff, so I've been kind of distracted. Woodworking, carpentry, man. Got a little espresso thing going on here. All right, cappuccino, espresso, whatever, espresso machine. Sorry it was so late. I just didn't understand. I don't understand this YouTube stuff. Even now, I don't even know what the heck is going on. Okay. So for the Little RPG, I'm doing this live thing for the Little RPG. I'm Friday. I have an open Friday, so I decided, hey, I'll just go live. I don't really have a schedule for doing live. I don't know if I'd prefer just playing games. And I was thinking about doing those live too, but I don't know. We haven't decided that yet, but to do the games live, I think that'd be kind of fun just to do them live. But, for now we're just playing them and then I upload them. All right, I got to get rid of my face there. It's distracting. So, I guess I'll just, oh, okay. Thank you, XP. Yeah, 20 seconds, man. That's a long delay. So I got to not look at that. Okay. 20-second delay. Wow. Anyway, and I had it going and I didn't know I had it going. I was trying to look at all this stuff. Anyway, all right. So let me, I just was reading this article. I was actually going to prepare better, but I didn't. I need to prepare better. Okay. Cool, Matt. Either way. Is this Matt? As in our Matt? As in, Huel Matt? So I'm reading this article. What's a better screen? This one? Nope. This one. On Not the Bee. It's one of the takes. Embrace their slurs because comedy is the antidote to clown world. When someone calls you a Christian nationalist. So I think this is awesome. And this is a good article. You guys should check this one out, by Jewel Abbott. Yeah, we were called Christians. Christians was supposed to be a slur back in the day, right? Because they're called little Christs. And they said, followers of the way. I wonder if Mandalorian took that from us, huh? Oh, man, okay. Matt, I just saw that. And you just joined the Discord. Yeah, we have Matthew. I don't know his last name. Or maybe I do, and I just forgot. Cool. Thanks for joining the Discord. To comment, question, whatever. Okay. I'm just going to go on about this. Interrupt me. That's fine. They would laugh at our dead savior, that we worshiped a dead savior who came back from the dead. A cult of poor refugees, ragtag. So that's cool. That's how we started, and as Christians. So derogatory names, and we just take them and use them. And I the one I want to start taking especially for and I read it in this book and was like, what is oops, go bigger here. This. Oh, I went black. Really? Why am I? Oh, that's not the right one anyway. Hold on, let me figure this out. Which one? Okay, that one. So in this, and I've mentioned before, but I'm going to keep mentioning it. They called them the White Devils. They called the Royal Navy the White Devils, the Christians, because that's what the slavers told the Africans, that the White Devils are coming to eat you. And so the Africans would remain enslaved to the slavers, which were African chiefs, voodoos, and the Portuguese, and some Spanish and French. So they would tell them, "Oh, you don't want to get those white devils." So I really want to use that as like the subtitle of this game that I'll be doing soon, RPG. The African Squadron, White Devils. So that's I want to use that. Because that's what they did. They called them white devils. So that's what they're doing. That's what the evil does. They use slander to destroy and stuff. No, it isn't. Okay. Oh, what did you say in your XP? The XP is a Greek letters. Chiro, since first times repeat, represent Christ. In Greek. I don't know why he said that. Did I ask him? I didn't ask you about it. Okay, thanks, XP. XP engineer, Christ engineer, Chiro engineer. So yeah, I want to use white devils, and they're calling us Christian nationalists now to try to be derogatory. And definitely this article here, this is so funny, you should read up on this. I do love his when he says, he does in here go about how God is actually pretty funny. And I've noticed a few jokes in the Bible. There's just a few, but then again, stiff-necked people, God said that's pretty funny. And I didn't realize this about him here, or I like the clarification here about Abram being, whose name meant exalted father, even though he had no kids and he was old, then added the suffix of many before he even had a kid. That's pretty funny. So, yeah. And then Isaac he laughs because his mother laughed at God when he said he'd have a child in her old age. So Isaac he laughs. And then God renamed Isaac's son, Jacob, to he struggles with God, which is Israel. My God loves naming, and he uses humor when he does. So, I never thought of it that way. I thought it was more, I viewed it as more prophetic or whatever, but it's also kind of funny. Now that I am reading this, oh, you're not even seeing this. Darn it. I need to, yeah, right here. So God, Abraham is named, Abram means exalted father, and Abraham means exalted father of many. So it's kind of funny. That's humorous. And then he says, God renamed Isaac's son Jacob to he struggles with God, which is pretty funny. When God answered Job, there was some sarcasm coming out of that whirlwind. That one I really loved. Where were you when I established the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who fixed its dimensions? Certainly you know. So that's God. God has humor, man. And dark, megalomaniac humor. No, I'm not. Anyway, and he says he's a very jealous God. And then I love when he says, pull up your loins, gird up your loins, which is a total warrior thing to do. Man up is what he's saying. So that's hilarious. And then when at noon, Elijah mocked them. He said, shout loudly, for he's a god. Maybe he's thinking it over. Maybe he has wandered away, or maybe he's on the road. Perhaps he's sleeping and will wake up. They shouted loudly and cut themselves with knives and spears according to their custom. Okay, that I like. Now, the reason I like that is for the Lord RPG. These pagans cut themselves according to custom with blood gushed over them with knives and spears. So I got to make some cults like that, freaking out. And that's a spell right there. You go, they're all crazed men with whatever. But that's kind of like a fear spell upon you or upon us Christians or upon, other pagans, making them submit. So that's actually pretty cool. I just forgot about that. I'm glad when other Christians can point things out and make it awesome. Jesus employed sarcasm, mockery. Yeah, definitely with him, with the Pharisees. And what he did is pretty funny. This is how his followers responded whenever he would say something cool. That's kind of funny. So yeah, this is a cool article. I like this article. And then of course, and what does Christian nationalists mean? And of course, they're saying we believe, because we believe that our rights come from God and not government. They're calling us Christian nationalists and saying we're extreme and radical because we believe that we have inherent rights that the government can never take away from us. And the only reason they can never take it away from us is because God gave it to us. And we all have to believe that in order for that to actually work. In order for, government not to take something from us, we all have to believe there is a God and he's given us those rights. And we all must enforce them, as in the government can't take it away. My right to freedom of speech, or my right to life, or my right to my family and my property. And your right as well. You pagans or non-Christians out there, your right to your property, your work, your family is yours, and the government cannot take it from you. Why? Because there's a God. And we all, Christians, as Christian nationalists, believe there's a God who gave you those rights just as much as he gave us those rights. And the government or no other person can take them from you. They can't steal from you, whether it's your art or your garden hose. And that's what we as Christians nationalists believe. So they cannot silence you. They should not have the right to silence you. Now I understand decorum. We should have decorum, and thusly you can be kicked out if you're not using decorum. But if you have something to say, if you're, you have a right to say it. So, all right, what I want to know is anyone even watching this? One, thank you so much. That might just be me. Anyway, whatever. That's fine. Okay. It's going to be recorded. Boy, it's going to be a lame intro, just like all mine are. But anyway. What else? I'm just seeing if anyone's saying anything. Any one person. There were two people. Anyway, I'm being very... Okay, someone's watching. You must be that one, XP. Thank you. I wonder if Luis is going to be around. He mentioned he was, but I messed this up. I should be on Zoom recording into this so that I can have a group thing. I really messed this up, but he hasn't responded, so I don't know. I wonder if I can switch out. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Okay. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So that's that. I'm going to go show you guys what I've been working on. How about that? Live. That should be fun. Which one am I using? This one. All right, let's go with my drawings, my doodles. Doodling. So here's my doodles of more Galaxians for Christians in Space. There we go. So I made some more interesting ones, like kind of more pagan-y too. I thought, I need more pagan confrontational type culty figures. I haven't created like specific pagan religions throughout the galaxy. And the reason is, as I've been studying paganism, like you can make up whatever you want. And every locale, every area had their own spirits or whatever. So I figure every adventure, you just kind of make something up. Like with the togas, when they encountered them, I just made up they worshiped the crabs and recycling and whatever was around them. And they worshiped the red cult because the red cult came and took their they took two toga sacrifices, two conscripted slaves. And so in the game too, I make it that human sacrifice is basically slavery, to try to keep it sort of PG-13, even though we all know what it really is. But anyway, so this is these are all characters, new characters for as Galaxians that can be cult members, shoppers, techno people. I could be a robot or a human in there. So I gotta finish coloring these guys. Let's see if anyone said anything. All right. Then let me show you guys. What else we got here? Here's some crazy beasts I'm sketching out. I haven't inked those yet. Some kind of giant mantis, some kind of scary worm, and some kind of beast with hooks down here. And that's a sketch. And here's some more sketches of scary beasts. I'm just trying to do like fun space beasts, that you get to fight and encounter. Can't convert these, can't evangelize to these. This was kind of off of Mandalorian, had a big alligator beast in the water. This is Mandalorian, the desert one. This kind of corny. I don't know if I really like this one. I might maybe I'll make it. I don't know. It looks a little, they should be cartoony, but there's something too cutesy about this one. I don't know. But here's some, kind of a Doom looking dude. This I just doodled free, I don't know what it was. I call it a leaper or something. Creeper. This is a creeper. What's my drawing? Okay, these are my Dominators, man. So these are going to be the Empires, the Dominators. These are going to be like the Dark Jedi, the Dark Sith, or whatever. These are going to be powerful dudes. Darth Vader's, in case you're wondering. This could be a little close, but I don't care. But these are all cool. They're gonna have, and they definitely have powers beyond the norm. Everyone fears them. It's funny in the Star Wars RPG. In my game, I'm not gonna have this, but in Star Wars RPG, they had a thing where, I'll check that in a sec. XP. They had a thing where, when you went up against villains, they made them just harder. Like they said, make this add plus whatever. I forgot what adversary 1, adversary 2, and when you did that, it made them a little harder. But you still had to use the same stats, but then you added the adversary thing on. And it was kind of weird. I was like, what? Why don't you just make their stats tougher? But they technically couldn't, because they actually had things where you kind of maxed out the stats. So you actually had to do an additional rule where, which I thought was kind of weird. They just do an extra penalty to anything you do to them, Whereas in my game, you can just keep going up in their, the stats and skills and stuff. Because I think in the Star Wars one, I think you max out at 5 ranks for all the skills. So you can't even go beyond that, So that was kind of weird. And then, except for with gear and stuff, but your skills can't go beyond that. Okay. All right. XP, put something here in Discord. Let me see what it says here. John Adams quote about our government and morality. Relevant. Rights come from God. Okay. 1798. Because we have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions, unbridled by morality and religion, avarice, ambition, revenge, or gallantry would break the strongest cords of our Constitution, as a whale goes through a net. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. Yeah, so thank you, XP. Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. If everyone is not aware of thou shalt not murder, and that there is a force behind it, there is a force multiplier behind it, there's something, then if everyone isn't, then why bother with that? Even as a kid, why bother with it? Why care? If thou shalt not murder is not taught, which it isn't, in schools, and why? Because there's a God behind it. That's why. If you tell a kid, and I mean like a kid, like whatever, middle school to high school. If you tell a kid, you just shouldn't do it. Oh, it's wrong. It's bad. I don't care. I mean, in the end, they're like get angry, and that doesn't make any sense. So what? If I can get away with it, we can all, or let's go with humans. We can all get dark. But if you say there's a God that's ever watching, ever the perfect judge. Again, this is a fallen world, but that's way bigger of a change in all of us when we believe that and we live that out. And when we watch each other, keep each other in check. Yeah, we're not a moral society anymore. And we're told to be being tolerant of that. So, yeah. And so in the RPG culture, we're not moral anymore. So there's, I know there's rules out there, but why? So what? What I was looking at the Morkborg open license, the open GL they have. Take my keys up. And they actually have, let me switch over there. Might as well. I was kind of surprised they had this moral clause or whatever in it. Let me just bust this open. And I was going to use this because it was nice and simple. And of course, they're very, they have all these anti-Christian motifs in them, like the upside down cross, which I, again, will take that as a positive thing because I see that in the goth a lot. They had the upside down cross. Like, did you know our own Peter was crucified on an upside down cross? So yeah. So is that, if they think they're being like anti-Christian or sacrilegious, like, well, did you know? So this is their little license, third-party license, and then I was reading through it. But then they have down here, remember, make it dark, depressing, weird, and cruel, but let everyone partake in the suffering. Be sure to avoid sexist, racist, homophobic, and transphobic tropes and themes in your content. There's plenty of that crap in the real world already. The world of Morkborg doesn't need it. I'm like, what? So be sure to avoid sexist, racist, homophobic, and transphobic. Well, what about Christophobic or, anti-Christian stuff or anti-Christian motifs or nope. That I was like, wow. Avoid sexist, racist, homophobic, and transphobic tropes. And this is like a dark, sinister world, but just don't do those things. I just kind of find that funny. All right, what else am I doing here? So these are the Dominators. They're going to have, special crazy powers. What's going on here? Someone else? Okay. What else we got here? This is cool. I've done one egg. I figured there's going to be eggs in the sci-fi setting. One egg. I'll do more. So these I kind of sketched out. I don't know if I'm going to do these or not. Knights of the Council. I don't know what that means. I haven't really, these are not Christians, but I don't know if I'm going to use these. These are a little too, we'll see. But I do have Star Crusaders. These are going to be Star Crusaders. And they're coming from Earth, and they're going to be the sort of the militant, Christian militant wing. And they're good, but they're like today's hardcore Christian special forces. They're like today's men who are special forces, but are also very Christian. So these guys are going to be tough. And the Crusades in this story setting are the ones who you can play. I haven't made the setting yet, but the setting is in between the apocalypse and the Christians of Space. There's an alien invasion setting, and then there's a horror in space setting, which is this just the solar system. And it's when when we realize we have to fight the prodigals who came from the galaxy during 2300, like right after the epoch, we remake Earth into a Christian nations, not fully the Earth. So there's plenty of Earth like adventure you could have, still in the post epoch period where they're building the Earth, where you can have like jungle mutants and all kinds of crazy radiation stuff still, even after creating a like a 1980s society, like a modern American society rebuilt, but very Christian, like our little dreamy utopia Christian nation. But that is the period right after the apocalyptic 100 years, and then it's right before the Christians of Space. This period is when we're kind of in this modern day like we are today, rebuilding, but a very Christian world. And then there's an alien invasion. So that hits on the 50s, 60s sci-fi alien invasion thing, that kind of genre. And, with UFOs and Martians and giant bugs and all that. So I want to do a setting like that. That'd be fun. But that's more just crazy adventure and not even really evangelism. However, in that you can also have plenty of areas like in South America or in Siberia. I'm saying not the actual geographical location, but that conceptually, like a jungle or remote areas where there's still sort of the mutants and stuff. But then the prodigals are the ones that come from the galaxy and they return to Earth to try to retake it. And they're trying to hide from the other atheists because it's so terrible out there, with the empire and the oppression. So these prodigals are coming back, but they're not coming back because they want to be saved or helped by the Christians. Oh no. They want to take it over, like Democrats moving from California to Texas or Florida. And then they're not going there to live in that freedom and bask in the Christian nationalist freedom that's there. No, they want to take it over. So that's kind of what the prodigals are. And then the Star Crusaders are the ones that retaliate and then help defeat them on Earth, and then take it to the solar system where there's all these prodigal space stations and stuff. And they're horror, killer robots, cyborgs, and horrifying mutations and stuff. And the Star Crusaders are the ones that do that campaign. And so now in the Christians in Space, they're considered, they're kind of old and no one, well, the organization is old. The individuals are still warriors. But they're a little bit like, okay, we don't need you guys anymore. But they're like, we want to fight, fight for the Lord. And so these are like Templars, and they're going off and they want to go into space. But the Earth Missionary Corps is nervous about that and doesn't want, is a little bit. We don't want to be militaristic now. We want to go there secretly and plant churches and see what we can do. And the Star Crusaders we're warning you. It's not going to go well. And the Empire is definitely going to attack the churches, and there's going to be a war, so they're like, they want to come out and fight, whether openly or clandestine. And these are just some cute little more missionaries. Wanted to make a little more Christian, like clergy types. Another helper robot there. Okay. What else I got going on here? Let me I'm just getting this ready for the next time I jump into a couple more missionaries here, or characters. These are obviously the main players. So this is the Salachi surface. Salachi is a aquatic world with floating coral, and these are like big kind of floating islands. With 5 or 6 buildings can be on one of these. But I place them around in different sizes on the VTTs as floating islands that they can land on, and there's settlements on these islands and stuff. So that's what that is on the ocean worlds. These are some subs I'm working on. Just sketch these out right now. And or just surface boats and subs. Salachis. These are Salachi is like shark or something, land, but these are the Salachi warriors. And I feel like this. I don't know how big or epic this planet will be, or if it'll just be small. And I don't even know about the underwater adventures. Like, how am I going to do this? Was it just going to be on the surface? I'm thinking just be on the surface, because I don't have an underwater thing going on here. These are just some fun effects I did. I have these already in there. Cartoony, laser fire, splats, smoke, and then just debris things. More critters. Oh, okay. So these are some mongrel types. Pagany I got in there. And, really thick. So it's really hard to kill these guys because they're thick and... Oh, underwater dome cities. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I can certainly just use the space station maps to make an underwater city, which is fine, which will work. I don't know how much of it. Well, I mean, I haven't gotten there yet. It is in the Kickstarter. It's part of the Kickstarter. I don't know how in depth I want to go with that, and what it would. I don't know what it would matter. Like, like different it would be. I'd have to, I haven't thought about it. But yeah, that's a good idea. Dome cities. I mean, an underwater station. I mean, I'm using the corridors and rooms as space stations, as spaceships, as mines. So certainly could be an underwater city of like Dome City as well, using the same thing. I'm just trying to think of what it would be, what kind of different thing would be there as well. But I do have the where is it? The Salachi service. So I have, a lot of like these type of islands are floating around the planet of the Salachi planet. And I think it's just Salachi, or is it the Salakwa? I got a couple of ocean worlds there with different things. The Salakwa is definitely just platforms floating, like harbor, port city type things. And then the Salachi, I think, is this. Remote corals with primitive settlements on it. And then the Salachi live in the water. For sure. Terrorizing the surface dwellers who are like, doing modern harvesting stuff. Fishing or whatever. Okay, what else I got going on here? Any comments, suggestions, ideas? Please feel free. Or not. A couple of sea beasts. Coral on the corals. Just fun, silly things. Don't really have any stories behind any of them. But they should be fun to make. This one looks like it's going to be fun to do. A little shooting out. Coral. Let me see. Okay. Oh, you can treat okay, XP says you can treat underwater like a lot of space, except more dangerous space. The pressurized difference is what atmosphere. One atmosphere. Water, it can be 100 or more times that if you're deep in the ocean plains. Pressure difference. Water, it can be 100 more times that if you're deep in the ocean plains. I'm trying to think mechanically what I would do there. Well, yeah, you would definitely have to have different ships. So you'd have to take you'd have to rent out a submarine or a boat or something to go down there. Yeah, I mean, I've always loved movies that are scary underwater depth things. I'm even a sucker for, what was that? Megalodon? Whatever, the mega shark, whatever. But I do like those underwater depth type things. I really, that movie, Deep Water or whatever with what's her name? What's the one with the Twilight girl? The water one? That one was really cool. Whatever it's called. Something water. Deep Water. That movie I really liked that movie. I watched it a few times. Just pretty cool. All right. What else I got going on here? Oh! This one. These are some creepy dudes. These, huh? Hope none of my players are watching the stream or watch it later. Don't. But these are like creepy, man. I'm definitely going to use these somehow, some way. Okay. What else I got here? Yeah, these guys I've never used these yet. I don't call them, they're kind of like rock grubs or something scary, something freaky, gross. These are like rancors. I call these rackers. Rancors, my cartoony rackers. This one here. All right, I love that I've figured this out. That the buildings in I can do buildings now with these guys, and stack them, and that's a good way of doing like cities with high rises and building, and these are all stackable kind of things, so they'll be used for the maps. I think show these on Kickstarter, but these are about mutant dudes, mutant marauders. Oh, yeah, breaching the whole skin. Right. The flesh reavers. Yeah, okay. What did I call them? I called them ink squirms or squirms. Although flesh reavers is pretty cool too. Squirms. I don't know why I call them squirms. Whatever pops in my head when I'm doing it. Yeah, those buildings are cool. I know we're 20-second delay conversation here. But I was able to make stackable buildings so that it's fun, quick and easy, and you can do that too in a VTT. So here's my mutant marauder dudes. These are the heavier ones, and then where's the lighter ones? Well, these are some ships, and then some elements to use in the maps. Where? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. How come I don't? There's nothing there. These are my. Oh, I gotta rename these two. Oh, these are the behemoths. Those were fun. That was in episode 3, season 2, 3, episode 3, something like that. Tuscans. They're pretty cute. They'll be fun to roleplay. I was hoping to make them a little more, tougher looking than this. They look like otters, I guess, or something, but whatever. Tuscans. These guys look a little too cute, but oh well. No, it's fun. That'll be fun. Okay, this is the Mutant Marauders ship parts or home base parts that create a dungeon and a ship. They will use these parts. I think there's two different parts, and there's more corridors because they're made out of ruins. And you can add the other, these other props in it. These guys for their machinery and what they do to make themselves and where they worship altars. Mutant Marauders are definitely just fun fighting enemies. No evangelism there. No evangelism needed there. I will not punish you for not trying to evangelize the Mutant Marauders. And then these are some basic Mutant Marauders. This is fun, goofy, scary, pagan, dark pagan. Okay, this is going to be a cool... I'm going to go... XP says, Tuscans look like cuddly walruses. Also, don't cuddle real walrus. They're dangerous wild animals. Don't cuddle any wild animal, even a squirrel. Don't cuddle a squirrel. Okay. Let me open up. I'm going to go back to me. I'm going to show you this adventure using the Marmaw. This is going to be fun. If my players are watching this, I don't care. But you can use this on your players that don't watch this. Hopefully they won't watch the live thing. They probably will, though. Because they're so greedy for learning everything. Oh, can you hear the music? All right, let me go to this. I'm in Foundry. Wait. Okay. Where is it? What planet? I forgot what planet. Here it is. Nope. Don't tend. Solakwa. Okay. This is going to be fun. And you too can have this and create your own fun game. This is the Solakwa city, where the Solakwas are, or the Decanoids. It's called Solakwa, the planet. And these are Decanoids, and this is their port, their ocean port harbor thing. And all the poor people work here and are subjugated, and so you got to work on that. They can land here with the shuttle and do some business if they want. Plenty of rations to, obviously this place is full of rations for trade. And they know in other planets they really need rations. So that's that. But there's definitely going to be some problems in this planet that they got to go. And of course, here's the gang of 3 live here. I've only got 2. That's easily solvable. 3. I would like to maybe draw them more, but whatever. And these are boats, by the way. These are these are not ships. I'm using the same parts as the ships, but making boats. You know, these are all boats. So you can have boat battles on here. The main thing I do with boat battles is I just reduce their handling. Their handling is more difficult and slower, obviously. Hi, Chris Hine. Thanks for joining and watching me bibble babble on here. Feel free to ask me any questions. It's a 20-second delay, so so they're gonna eventually encounter the gang, right? The bosses, and they're gonna. I know they're watching. So I can't tell you anything. Anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so there's this. They got to go out to this. They got to rent one of their boats because it's expensive to fly your ship in the atmosphere. You burn fuel cells. You burn as many fuel cells flying around in a planet's atmosphere with a shuttle or whatever as you do doing translight drive. Kind of a thing. Oh, let's see. What did XP say here? A water world would be extremely short of iron. Plenty of magnesium to build metal things with, but very iron poor. Well, thank you, XP. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely bring ore to this place. That's for sure. Yeah, you could bring ore down because you have ore and scrap and low tech and high tech. And I bet you the Soloquans here definitely want some of that. I don't know about the iron. What do you mean by iron, though? Wouldn't they have iron like in the rocks over here in the ocean? I don't know. But yeah, I would think they would appreciate ore here, low tech. Because their biggest thing is rations, which is my supply for food. The fishing industry. Anyway, so this is called the exhaust trap. So on every planet there's a terraforming factory. That's how every planet is livable. And no planet out, and this is, by the way, I am creation science biblically adherent. No planet out there is livable, can create life. Actually, you know what? Even Earth can't create life. If you think about it. Earth cannot create life. No living organism on Earth can live if it is exposed to the environment. If it's exposed to the environment, everything, including cells, have a protective thing and a filtration thing, right? Every orifice I have has a filtration mechanism. Yeah, that was randomly created by evolution, of course. I've got a randomness going through here, or a filtration in my nose, with plenty of phlegmy, sinusy things, washing it out all the time. I've got filtration in my ears with waxy protectiveness coming out all the time. I've got filtration in my mouth with plenty of fluids cleaning it out all the time. I've got a couple other orifices we will not need to worry about, but everything is protected. Even here, right? I've got orifices and they're being protected by liquids and eyelashes and everything. So all of our organism, all living life actually has to be protected from the earth, from the environment of the earth. All cells have protective walls, and if they're open to the earth, the environment, they die. So anyway, so what's my point? Oh, all the other planets have terror factories that have to run in order for the place to be livable. Okay. So all the inhabitants of every planet that are on livable planets do not interfere with the terraform factories. The terraformers are automated and well protected with security bots. But everyone actually doesn't interfere with them. Not even the Terminators and Dreadbots. I put it so that the coding in them is so hardwired by the engineers and mechanics of the ancient days that they don't even. Because they look at the organisms as things to harvest anyway, like technology and ore and scrap. So not even the killer robots will mess with the terraformers. Not even the bugs. The Zerg-like Tyrannid biodreads. The biodreads do not mess with the terror factories. Okay, so anyway, so they're complaining that something out there is not wrong. Or is wrong. So there is a nest sort of clogging one of the terraforming exhausts. So they said, go out and clean that out. Well, or go check out why we're getting a reading off of this one. Go check that out. Well, look what's waiting around, huh? Under the water, yeah. You know, whenever you want a TPK of Christian missionaries, same. It's a good one to do. At least my players are not watching this. So there's that. And I'm working on all these planets here. If you can see on the right, planet Jupiter. Just gonna go through these for the fun of it. This all comes from Space Engine. Ooh, hey, another guy here. Okay, hi Ron. I don't care about anything you're talking about. I just had some questions for you. Are you familiar with White Wolf and Mage the Ascension? I'm familiar, but not. No, don't really. I don't care about anything you're talking about. Okay, that's great. But no, I know of them, and I've certainly seen them around, but I've never bought them or played them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that in there because that's what I get. Space Engine is the what I'm using to get my basic images, and this is planet Jupiter. What is Jupiter? Anyway, it's in my notes. Nepeton. I have different like societies or things here. Like I think this is probably going to be a space fleet type thing going on here at Nepeton. And this one. Oh, this is the coral. Okay, so here's how I threw down the coral. Oh, I haven't really placed these down yet. But as you can see, I made giant those coral drawings. I increased those size. What's your opinion on The Cure? Fine, don't talk to me. Well, The Cure is kind of one of my favorite, bands, I guess, especially in the '90s, and I certainly still have them on my playlist now. Another time, then, Ron. Okay. Take care. So these are my corals, and I'm creating a planet here, and here's Planet Tusk. Here we go. Okay, so Planet Tusk. So there's a basic Tusk town. Now I'm gonna build this out more than this, but as you can see, little jungle things. There's gonna be more than this, but yeah, I'm using the sort of the Tatooine Raptorine buildings here on the coral. There's gonna be more, and this is kind of just my first take on this, and then this one is just me doing a outlier island they got to go to at some point. This is the planet. Very cool, and I'll have some sort of orbiting thing probably. I just love the way that, to toot my own horn here, I just love the way this is, because like in Star Wars RPGs or whatever, you're not gonna get things like this. Look at this, man. I'll explain this one to you. This is RV World, and both of these are on the same planet. This is obviously high up, and it's basically these people living like in a shanty town. Oh, here's those. I've created these building decks here, and there's these ships docked, but you can see these buildings, and you can go around to all the different areas. And it's basically a bunch of fighting gangs, right? Confrontational gangs, but they all have to bug out whenever the mutant marauders come by, because the mutant marauders are actually in the same star system as the RV World. But they don't, thankfully, or story-wise, the mutant marauders don't attack them any more than they attack anyone else. So it's rare that they even get attacked, even though they're in the same star system. Because the mutant marauders, I think two things about this. Let me finish this thought, and I'll go look at what you said. XP, thanks. Two things about this: the mutant marauders are random in their thoughts; they're chaotic, and two, they actually don't want to. I think that in some of them, sort of their leader types or whatever, that have some mental process, don't want to wipe this out. They want to keep the RV, these guys close, just in case they need some human enslavement, and taking of humans, because that's what they do. They raid and take out the humans and then turn them into mutants. So very sad. But this planet has this, and then it has this, which is a bunch of just crashed ships or junk world ships. And this is not the Shoal is the other planet in the system, And it also has crash ships, but those ones are taken by the mutant marauders. These ones are more just like junk ones. A little less it's being used by the RV people in a more sort of industrial way. Whereas on this other planet, this is the mutant marauder. Let me go to actually this one first. This one is their actually like a layer of the mutant marauders. I'll probably build it out more just to make it a little more chaotic. This one is below them, sort of further down, with more ancient stuff, all buried under crashed ships. These are all like space, like Dread Hulk, Space Hulk crashed in, and so you got creepy stuff going on in there. I hope anyway. Okay, XP says, iron sinks. Oceans, even on Earth, are notoriously short of iron, and iron acts much like a fertilizer for ocean life. Well, if a world is a true water world, very little dry land, then they'll always need more iron, unless they can mine down on the ocean floor. Aluminum, silicon, and other metals that don't form soluble compounds. Unless they can mine down on the ocean floor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna. Well, yeah. Okay, they'll want ore. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. For sure. Thank you for that. I'll remember that. Because yeah, I always want to know what planet has what it can offer. Like in every space trading game, you want to know what you can make the most profit of. I remember playing a game like that once. PC game where you'd go around and find which planet needed the food, which planet needed the ore, and then you'd go get your maximum profit so you could upgrade your ships. That was pretty cool. And that's pretty much what this is. This type of thing. What else? I'm gonna move away from that now. I'm gonna keep the music going though. And here is my rule book. This I want to go over. While I'm here. Just listing items they need. Thanks. Yeah, it's just going to be, they're going to just want ore and scrap and low tech. Because I categorized everything in simple forms of ore. It starts at ore, then goes to scrap, then goes to low tech, high tech, medical, and then rations is kind of in there, as well as sundries. Sundries is kind of like trinkets, to trade with, and all of that can be used to trade back in the Christians in Space game. Some planets will have more rations, which like Solakwa, and then some planets will have ore, like Flotsam, their first planet. All right, so this right here. Oh, here. How can I support you and buy all your stuff? Oh, thank you, Christopher. On Kickstarter, I am running it right now. This game, Christians in Space, with all the stuff I'm showing you, it will be part of that as a VTT, as printables, if you want that part. And the print version of this is going to go through Drive-Through RPG. So you give me a $5 my portion, and then I will send you all a link to the base printing cost of that on Drive-Through. So you should get the best kind of printing and get it through Drive-Through. So it's just better for you and me that it's legit through them than getting it just through me. And they I'm assuming their quality is pretty good. I bought one of their got their Gamma World. Where is it? And you can choose too the level of quality of the print you want. But this is the rule book, and right now, and I'm still building it out, but right now it's at 90 pages about. I'm doing some of these infographics because I want the complicated rules, but I want the kiddie infographic version. Oh, someone just told me to do kerning on this. Let me do that real quick. Live kerning. This is not kerning. This is not kerning. This is more like that. Where's kerning? Is it this one? Horizontal scale. It's not telling me if it's kerning. Oh, here it is. Kerning in metrics. I don't know what the heck that means. Optical? What? Sorry, I'm just trying to... I don't even get a chart. It's really weird. 0. There. Okay. Then I can, no, I can't adjust it. Sorry, I'm really, this is ridiculous. I'm working on the kerning of this bottom line here. Yeah, maybe if you can look at this. Sorry. God created Earth perfect for life. Correct. Yes, he did. But it cannot form without a supernatural, right? It cannot form from nothing without a supernatural event. So life can only come from life that's protecting it, right? It has to be protected. It can't, the Earth literally will kill us if we're exposed to it. You know, anything, a cell. If a cell's membrane is opened, it will die from the Earth. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, if you look on, I'm gonna put a link in for you there, Chris. If you would like to support did that work? Kickstarter, and thank you for asking. I'm working hard on this. I'm telling you. Okay, so this is something that I'm going to just go over this because I'm a nerd. It's called Die Rank Result, and I really love this. I don't know of any other RPG that does this, or let me know if you guys, please mention one if you do know one, especially UXP, you must know. But when you roll, you roll to fail or succeed at something. In this, you not only roll to succeed, how much more do you succeed will then proffer a bonus die that you can then use for other things. And so one way you can do it is through research, healing, surgery, prayer is another one, and cooking. And if you do like really good prayer, right? If you roll a really high prayer, then the die rank results you can then proffer up to the other players and so they can spend them later as inspired die, extra bonus die to use in their rolls. That's what the die rank result is. And you and trade versus trade is like if you're trading. Actually, that's something I got to work on too. But if you're preaching, you're trading, anything dealing with someone else. Oh, pilot versus pilot. That's a really easy one to explain. So if you're piloting and they're piloting in the battle, if you beat them, how much do you beat them by? That matters because then that will give you die ranks. Let's say you beat them by 10 points. Like you roll a 30, total of 30. That's really high, but it's possible. If you roll a 30 and they roll a 20, so you beat them by 10. So you get to use 10. All right, 10 divided by 2 is the die rank. So you get 5 die ranks. 5 die ranks. So what is 5 die ranks then? If you divide it by 5, that will tell you how many dice you get. If you divide it by 5, that's 1d12. If you have any remainder left over, then you will get a d4. Let's say you beat them by 17. I use that. That's the example I used down here. You beat the other pilot by 17. So you have beat him by 17 points divided by 2 is I didn't do the divide by 2 on this part. That means I would have beat him by 34. Let's say you beat him by 34. Yeah, they rolled a freak, a 5 or whatever, or 3, and this is kind of high, but you can get a high, anyway, whatever. Let's say you beat him by 34, divided by 2 is 17. Is that right? Is 16. Whatever. I'm trying to use this as an example. Let's say you beat him by 11. I'm looking for an odd number. 11. Divide that by 2. So it's 2 remainder 1. 2 remainder 1. Right? 2 remainder 1. So 2 and remainder 1 is a d4. So you would have a d12, a d12, and a d4 to roll. And you get to roll all 3 of those and pick the highest. I'm stepping ahead here. Pilot versus pilot. You beat him by 11. Divide that by 2, and it's 5 die ranks. Divided by 11 divided by 2 is 5. Drop the 1. 5. So you get 5 die ranks. You can give us 5 die ranks. So you beat it by 11, you get 5 die ranks. What do you do with the 5 die ranks? You can add 1 to defense. You can add 1 to the shooter, your gunner. You can add 1 to the other gunner, and you can add 2 to. You can give it to the other gunner, or give him the other, or you could do. You could say I add it to, like, you're trying to get away, and you can tell them, well, how much to get away. Well, if you spin up 2 die ranks, yeah, I'll give you that to, to try to get away, because to me that's a lot. So whenever you roll, well, I'm making this complicated. Whenever you roll versus someone else, you subtract it, whoever's the winner, and then you divide that by 2, and that's how many die ranks you have. And those die ranks you can give to anyone, or depending on the situation, whatever it is, or you can convert them for your own dice roll here. And that, so let's say you have the 11 divided by 2 is 5, so divided by 5 is a d12. If you use the 11 example, if you beat them by 11, you divide that by 2, it's 5 die ranks. You can give that to someone else. You can split them up amongst the other people, or you could take it and say, I want to use it for myself because I have a gun as well, as I'm a pilot with a single laser gun, and you can get a d12 bonus to that if you want. What would you say? Okay, I play a Christian cleric. His spiritual weapon is a holy hand grenade. I play with a group of men from my church. Oh, so like a D&D. A spiritual weapon is a holy hand grenade. I play with a group of men from my church. Yeah, so D&D, right? Or why am I'm responding to you. Why am I replying back? Yeah, and that's I think that's good that you guys playing as a group of men from church. That's perfect. And then now do a Christians for the Lord one. Now, if you want, just take the ideas from my game and use it in your D&D. I mean, I'm against D&D only because I love D&D, by the way. So, I grew up with D&D, but actually I went to Rollmaster. But anyway, the reason I'm trying to move away from it is because it's gone so woke. And so, like, if you introduce other church members or kids to it and then they go and look into it, they're going to get all this crazy stuff, right? And so that's why I decided I got to move away from it and create a role-playing game that it's reminds me of D&D, but I feel is better because I've removed some stuff from it that I don't like the level thing, the skills are specific. In my game, you can pick any skills you want. You can come astrogation, you can do pick lock, you can do sewing, you say I want to start doing weapon repair, and I'll be like, okay, you're gonna do energy weapons or projectile weapons. You gotta do one of the two. I'll do energy weapons. Okay, start with that. Start that skill. So, thank you. Cool. Appreciate that. And in my game, what is the most important thing? Evangelism and planting churches. So not only do you get to all the fun of D&D, but you now get to evangelize the villagers. In my game, the villagers actually, you save them from the dragon, but actually they worship the dragon. So you got to, hey, you got to stop sacrificing this dragon. Why? Well, the dragon's cool. We want to, what's wrong with slavery? What's wrong with giving up our children? And, and so you get to play that out too. Any true aliens? No, not modified humans in your game. If so, what is your relationship with God? If so, wait, I can't read that right there. The heart is in the way. I can't see what it says there. If so, what is their relationship with God? So no true aliens. They're all the Galaxians are genetically modified humans, because the atheists went up and started terraforming and planting and putting down genetically modified humans to survive these different climate, ecologies, along with the beasts. So everything comes from Earth. So I'm being, creation science and biblically adherent that God made life on Earth, and He made the universe for His glory. But the atheists are going out there, parasiting off of all the planets and terraforming them. And they left the Christians back on Earth to suffer in prison camps. And so for the next, and there's a whole timeline in the game that explains all this. So and now the Christians who were stuck back on Earth, that was nuked and bombed and made into a post-apocalyptic world, have re-Christianized the Earth. Parts of it, not the whole thing. You can still make a crazy gamma world continue, but they have enough on there that they created a modern day Christian nationalist society of utopia, but they of course are then there's a storyline where the prodigals come in and attack the Earth, And the Christians realize, oh, we got to go out and start doing missionary work out in space to where all the atheists are on all those planets. So mine makes way more sense, right? All the aliens, and they look like aliens: sharkmen, dogmen, turtlemen, crabmen. They all look creepy, just like you would in a Star Wars set or a Star Trek set. Exactly the same thing. You got your Aqualish, you got your Clatoonians, whatever. But mine makes way more sense because they were genetically modified humans, which makes way more sense, right? Because they're all humanoid, they're all carbon based, they all can talk to each other, they all, they all have gangs and fight each other, but they're all humans, in essence. But there is like the reptilians, which are on the planet Raptorine, and the reptilians are like Tusken Raiders. They're oppressive, but they are actually lizards genetically modified to be more humanoid. Now, as far as conversion goes, that's for you, the adventurers, to find out and figure out, who you can and can't convert or work on. It kind of reminds me of the TV series The Expanse, except there are Christian missionaries, not Mormons. Yeah, I watched the Expanse series. I enjoyed it, but they made the Christians on it seem like progressive Christians because they had the of course their Christian pastor was a lesbian woman. It's like, oh gosh, can I just please get a sci-fi show without you digging into us Christians again? But we still watched it because I really wanted to watch something sci-fi and cool. And thankfully that part of it was just a small thing. But we have to, it's par for the course. Oh, sorry, XP, you said something here. 25 versus 3 beat by 11 wait, oh, thank you. You did 25 versus 3 beat by 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11. There you go. And that's 22 divided by 2 is 11. So 11 die ranks. 11 divided by 5 is 2, yeah, D12, D12, and a D4. Perfect, XP. Exactly. See, that was one of my revelations in the game of simplifying the die rank results. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. Here's here. This is the same rules right here. I can explain it better, but I'm verklempt right now. Let me show you the different types of aliens. We got these crab guys here. Planet Direwolf. Here's some more of them. These are the Decanoids and some sea beasts. All living on this planet here, planet Solaqua. And then you've got, this is the Raptorine desert planet with, genetically modified creatures. And these are some encounters that I'm working on. I'm going to add more details to it. These are some soldier dudes, soldats. They're for the Outer Rim Enforcers, Outer Rim Corporation that works on Raptorine. And then here are the reptilians, genetically modified humanoid lizards that are running rampant on the planet and terrorizing the humanoids and enslaving them. And some worship them. So, gotta deal with that. See? This is, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is my Dreadbots. And I'm going to add more to the Dreadbots. I think I might even add some more units too. Because look at this. Eradicator, big old tough dude. Eliminator with guns. The Exterminator with one big old rail laser. So that's kind of scary. And the Executor. So these are all Terminators or Exterminators. And this is the Dreadbot secret controlling faction, which is not actually AI, it's brains. Like the engineers who are a break-off splinter of the Empire, factious break-off, are actually insane brains in the membrane there. But, there's AI too, working under them or with them as well, or controlling them, because the brains are so insane at this point that they're pretty much just CPU things. Okay, so Smuggler Syndicate, kind of a cool place they can encounter and do some shopping. I could always use more gear ideas. This is like the first, no, this is not the first adventure, but the first setting. This is the first adventure, a simple one. It's in the rule book, but I'm going to expand it out more here. So this is the dead zone that I was talking about earlier. some locations there. RV, where my dog's going crazy. I'm going to do a 2-page spread map here in the book. I hope they'll let me print that out ink-wise. They have like an ink limit on drive-through. I think that'll be okay. I gotta make the stats on these guys still. So yeah, I'm working. I'm getting it done. It's coming along. That's everything that's included in the Kickstarter, but I gotta finish it for us. Okay, so what else? I could write the above in code software. Oh, XP. I could use some Foundry things for Foundry, like what are they called? You know, like they have scripting in there where you can do dice, mechanics for different games. So if you know anything about that, let me know, because that would be cool. I could probably, if we could add a little module to that for that, but I don't know. Mutants would make sense. Humanoids with exoskeletons will be well adapted to higher gravity planets. High gravity planets, yeah. Yeah, there's going to be, I have mutant marauders in the game, so there's that. Humanoids with exoskeletons. That's the, in this one too, like, the atheist regime and the engineers and the genocide, I call them the genocide, are creating, they're creating all kinds of mutants for different planets over several hundred years before Christians come out to the galaxy. So they had several hundred years. And, if you think about it, several hundred years is a long time. I mean, think about 100 years ago from us. What is this? We are 2024. So in 1924, they have the Ford car. Was that the most advanced technology then? The train, maybe? The train and the car, right? I think were the most advanced technology that I'm aware of. The Gatling gun, I guess. And in 100 years, look what we got. So to me, and then that 100 years, 1924 to 1824, huge difference, right? So I think like 100 years, and especially with science and sci-fi and computers and all that, is like 1,000 years to us. I mean, speed wise and what they do and all the automated stuff and the robots and everything they're using out there, but in a very chaotic way too. So they have advanced dice and also JavaScript functions. Yeah, JavaScript. Yeah, so XP. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could figure that out or let me know. I don't know anything about it, so I don't know if you have Foundry or not. Or yeah, if you can do a JavaScript for that, that'd be cool. I don't know anything about it, so yeah, you tell me. All right. Any other questions? Concerns from you two guys? I appreciate you on there. A couple of you. How many? I don't want to look at my broadcast because it's off. I'm so not used to doing this. What else? That's kind of it. I was going to show. I'm kind of winding down. Because I'm running a one-man show here talking. I think I need to go lay down. Any other? I don't have Foundry, but I have experience writing code. Okay, yeah, XP. I'll look into it and see if I can get you to do a script, and then you can send it to me, and I can post it in the Foundry. Well, let me show you right now. Right here. Let me just show you what it is. You can't see it yet. Let me show you. Okay, so down here, let me move my. Down here is our little, we do these little scripts here, macros. Let me pull it up, and then we have that, and then when we run it, execute macro, it just does the, does the dice and does this little script here. The one I use, this is the one I use just for the, the keep the highest. Roll d20 plus, and it uses the what are those called? These guys. Gosh, I looked up their name too, but those guys. And so there's this, but also they use, well, I don't know what they use, but it's like GitHub stuff. They make modules. These modules to write the scripts. Let me go to I gotta close this and open it again. Okay, here. So when you get a module, you can add it, like the dice tray, dice. Oh, here. Install module, and you can look for modules, dice. Oops. Now, I think that if you know about the macros, that's probably all that I would need. I don't know, but like you so dice stats, right? Someone wrote this, whatever this is, and I go to GitHub here, and it shows what they did. And I don't know what this means, you know. I don't know any of this stuff here, but they do these things here. GitHub things. So get the code. I don't know what this is. Anyway, so here's where they create these modules, and then you get the info from it, and then you can install whichever ones you want. And they are here. And then these are all the ones I have installed. I don't necessarily use these for every world I'm in, but that's what they are. Yes, modules use JavaScript. Macros are just advanced dice. Right. Writing a module would require I have Module Maker and Foundry. That's probably further out. I believe I can do this with a macro. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, a macro that we can just put into the just put it in here. Copy and paste in here. Okay, cool. Let me know if you figure anything out with that. And maybe one day, I could get the Foundry and the Module Maker as soon as I make some money. As soon as it becomes a business. I don't know. It's a ministry. All right. Anything else before I collapse? And thank you all for thank you for the couple of you guys with your chats there. Appreciate it. Just popping in. I know. I kind of feel like I should do a live on a regular schedule. And I just figured I would just do it whenever. And then if I do it often enough on that same time, then I would do that and make it a regular one. But I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I don't have, it's not in my DNA or wheelhouse at the moment doing live talks. Okay, I think I'm going to end it unless anyone else going to say anything. No? Okay. All right. Thank you guys for showing up, and if anyone else just watches this later, appreciate it. And again, I got the Kickstarter. It's going to end in a few days. So if you're wanting to on just what all I just showed you and on showing in all my videos, I appreciate that. I'm going to keep working on more. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on, once I get this done, I'm going to use this rule set to finish up, well, that's not the right terms, to finalize for the Lord RPG, the Dark Ages, and the Apostles of the Epoch. And the first edition has pretty much everything here. I just want to extrapolate out on the infographics, the die rank results, really clarify that, and the glory points, which I did update the PDFs, but I probably should let everybody know they're updated to the a little more costly to go up in ranks in skills. So it slows you down a little bit more. That's kind of the main differences from the first edition to the second edition or whatever. But anyone that bought the first edition or even got it for free at Christmas, I will let them know and give them the updated version of the PDF. But I plan on doing some more Kickstarter. So what I plan on doing after I get all that done and get the second edition kind of finalized with this Kickstarter and then finishing up the Dark Ages and Epoch one. I'm going to work on this one. I really want to do this one, just to stick it to the woke. This is the Royal Navy spent 100 years fighting the black slave trade with the Africans and the Portuguese and the Arabs. They had a West African squadron, and they then at high, then the second edition of the higher levels is the East African squadron. That one was even more brutal. They went up against the Arabs in the Middle East. They had to go all the way around to the other side of Africa and go up against the Arabs in India too, in Asia, to end the slave trade. And that was darker and sinister. And there's a description in there of they went up a river and they saw untold numbers of bodies because of the voodoo sacrifices. So if they saw that one place, where else, imagine it everywhere. That's how creepy and horrifying then we can make that game too, Probably not a lot of evangelism going on, although I guess they can evangelize the slaves they free. But you can still use prayer and blessings in it for sure for the sailors. And you'll probably deal with some Portuguese and French and Spanish in it as well as enemies, because they were. Because the Britain were practically alone in doing this and fighting it and ending it. America helped them for 10 years out of the 100. But they were dealing with a civil war anyway. They were dealing with their own freeing of slaves. So I'm gonna do that one. The other one I want to do is Gothic RPG, which is a 14th century, same setting or same rules, but it's going to be a little more brutal, a little more, scarier and grimmer and darker, kind of going towards that Morkborg, which is I think they kind of copy this, but very Gothic. It's when the witches openly declare their allegiance to Satan, 14th century, and this is right after the Black Plague as well. So half Europe is missing. So they'll be going to a lot of empty crypts, tombs, like very ruined places, where witches and Satanists are. So it's going to be that kind of dark and sinister. And you're going to be a Templar. You're going to be a plague doctor. One of the players wants to play it in the 6th century. I'm going to use it. I'm going to do a plague doctor. You're definitely going to have plague doctor type clergy, and Templar Knight types, and Crusader Templar Knights, and then the nun's going to be some kind of assassin woman. So it's going to be I am going to play, even though it's saying women cannot be killers and fight, I'll probably will break that rule with this, or not battle axe wielding. They're going to still have to use something else besides their toughness, so figure that out. What else? I'm working on that. The other one I want to do is a conquistador one. Conquistadors, and it's all Catholic. I want to do conquistadors with clerics, priests, Jesuits, muskets, arquebusiers, or whatever type of black powder that you had, against savages, dinosaurs, tons of reptile dinosaur types, panthers, what do they have? What kind of snakes they have down there? Like giant ones. I'm not sure if they have pythons or whatever. But definitely freaky deaky temples, Mayans and Aztecs, the whole brutal human sacrifice thing. So that was going to be pretty hard R too. The conquistadors I read, they ate children as a delicacy. The pagans did, and the conquistadors had to say, they had over 200 food items, and they asked them which ones were not the children. Don't give us please do not feed us the human ones. And the leaders of the Mayans or the Aztecs were like, this is a delicacy, you should eat. So yeah, I'm gonna do that one too. After I do these others. So I hope anyway. I hope I could use some help. Anyway, okay. All right, so I guess I'm done with my live. What I'll be doing, and appreciate you guys all who's here and who watches later. So I'll be ending it now, and I think this is the way you end live recordings. In the game of life, roll holy dice. How do I end this?